practitioners and people that own and direct wellness centers. So last week we had Donna Morin here, and Donna runs Heart Song Spiritual Wellness Center up in Milford. Today, we're very fortunate to have a townie, Dennis Coakley, and Dennis has been born, raised, and actually has run his business here for the last 31 years. Dennis is a chiropractor and an acupuncturist, and he's just he's kind of a well-rounded guy. Today he's going to talk to us about acupuncture, he's going to talk to us about chiropractic, and his favorite kind of people to work with, which is what, everyone, right?
Everyone, yeah.
Everyone but the family
Old people,
dog.
young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you get started in this kind of business?
Well, I'll try not to make this too long, but I was a physical education major
Okay.
when I first started college.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always been interested in that aspect, of
The physical.
the physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some injuries when I was young. I was injured my freshman year in college doing gymnastics.
Okay.
And it pretty much put me out of athletics
Oh, wow.
at that
Okay.
time. But then I got hurt again when I was 25. I was working as a car mechanic.
Okay.
And I got hurt lifting, doing engine work. And I was out of work 10 months.
Wow.
And at that time, wondered whether I'd ever work again, But a friend of mine said, why don't you go see a chiropractor?
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, my response was, what's a chiropractor?
Yeah, well, that was a little while back.
Yeah, it was a
huh?
little while back. Only about 40 years.
Right, right.
So I saw this chiropractor. I was in Western Mass at the time, and this guy was in Northampton.
Okay.
And he put me back on my feet again.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go in there, and he would work on me doing spinal adjustments. And I would get up to leave, and he'd look at me, and he'd say, you could do this.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'd look at him, and I'd say, you're crazy. But 4 or 5 years later, I was in chiropractic school.
Excellent.
So
It always seems to take something, huh? Like a little push here.
it took a push.
Yeah.
Because I never in my I didn't know what a chiropractor was, so
Right,
never
right.
in my wildest dreams did I think I would ever be
Something you didn't know
something
about.
that I didn't know about. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't understand chiropractic, and I think one of the big mysteries, at least in my life, is acupuncture. My dad had it done when he was sick, and I really didn't understand how that exactly works. Now, let me know about this, okay? So if you take chiropractic and you take acupuncture, is there a common denominator? Like, how did you put these two together in your practice?
I'll tell you how that happened. I was working on a woman in my office one time, and I was doing some soft tissue work, muscle work, trigger point work.
Okay.
And it was painful for her.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't doing my hands any good either.
You have to put a lot of pressure?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was thinking to myself, there's got to be something else I can do to be able to help more people.
Right, right. Okay.
And I thought about acupuncture. I had thought about acupuncture 20 years before that, but I also didn't think it would fly in Medway.
Well, Medway is a very
30
evolved place
years-
now.
Yeah, but 30 years ago.
Right, right, exactly.
Not so much. But I mentioned it to Marcia, my wife, and of course she jumped right online and found the New England School of Acupuncture,
Right,
which
right.
at the time was in Watertown.
Oh, that's not too far, right?
So I went to an open house, and the next thing I knew, I was enrolled and I was starting classes. And that was, 10 years now I've been doing acupuncture as well.
It's nice to have that
It's a
encouragement.
great,
from
so
her.
we were talking the other day, and I think I said to you, there's nothing that walks into my door except maybe cancer that I don't have something that I can use
Right.
with it.
So you have a lot of tools there that you can use. And today I'm going to have you put some needles in me so I can have that experience. And that'll be kind of different.
Yep.
But so, like, what's the difference though? Like, so if someone comes in and they have a pain in their back, now how do you differentiate between needles and pressure?
Usually, my guide is what's the cause.
Okay, so you're
Okay,
looking at a core
what's-
issue.
What's the root?
Okay.
All right. So if it's a mechanical problem, I usually am going to go to chiropractic.
Okay,
If it's, let's say, the low back pain is caused from kidney disease
right.
or bladder problem or bone cancer.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when I say, cancer is about the only thing that I can't treat, but I can treat symptoms of cancer,
Right.
like pain.
Right.
So if
Can you help alleviate some of the symptoms of the treatment as well? or-
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's really important for people to know.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes people say, well, cancer, it seems as though the treatment is so harsh.
With radiation and
Right,
with chemo, part of my my acupuncture education, we had to do kind of little clinical rounds, and I worked
Okay, yeah,
for a
right.
while. I worked at Mount Auburn Hospital in the Center for Women, and treated a few people there. They would come for their chemo and radiation upstairs, and then they'd come right down to the acupuncture, the Center for Women, and have acupuncture immediately after.
Now, did that help with their symptoms, their ability to relax, or maybe help with the
Yeah,
nausea
also
as well?
with
or-
the nausea and with appetite, and there's actually a technique too that can be used for radiation burns.
Oh, okay.
Like if women are having radiation for breast cancer,
Okay.
and
That skin is very
radi-
sensitive, right?
Yeah, radiation burns is actually a treatment that can help with that also.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what's out there. That's one of the reasons that we do the show, is kind of just to raise awareness. 'Cause people don't understand, or at least they're not aware of, what's out there and what can help. Now, see, I just learned something I never knew before about that.
And it brings to mind for me also, one of the tools I have in my office is low-level laser.
Laser, okay.
Therapy, okay.
Like Star Wars, no.
Low level, that's high level.
Okay.
So, and maybe we'll talk about laser a little bit, but laser can be great for burns also.
Okay.
You know.
So that gets, permeates the skin and helps the cells regenerate? Am I right?
It affects the body at the cellular level. Yeah,
Excellent.
with several different things that laser can do. One, it stimulates endorphin production, which helps with pain relief.
Right, exactly.
But it also stimulates protein synthesis, which helps with tissue repair.
Helps the tissue repair, okay.
And it will stimulate, I don't know how far into chemistry
We
want
don't
to
wanna
get
go
here,
into
okay?
chemistry. No,
But
no,
there's a
wait a minute.
substance
Simple,
called
simple.
ATP,
Okay.
adenosine triphosphate, that is increased with laser
And
stimulation.
that is important.
That's important because it's kind of like the unit of energy that's used at the cellular level
Okay.
for all cellular
So
functions.
energy, okay.
Yep.
Generating energy.
And the other cool thing is that with repeated laser treatments,
Mm-hmm.
it stimulates the creation of new capillaries.
All right, so you can
So-
have new vessels in your body?
Yeah, so one of the
capillaries?
things they're using laser on now is diabetic.
Diabetes, really?
So instead of cutting toes off,
Right, you can start to
start
create,
regenerate capillaries with laser,
that's like science fiction, sort of.
kind of.
Kind of. Cool what you're doing, and you're doing a lot of great stuff. I was just talking with actually, we're related. We have the same Aunt Emily Coakley,
And
and she's
cousins.
90, yeah, we're cousins, and 90 years old today she is. And I was telling her, I'm gonna go interview Dennis. Oh, Dennis, yeah, he helped me for a very long time. And actually, I probably could talk to just about anyone in Medway, and they've been at your door looking for some answers and some solutions to the problems that they have. But it was kind of ironic that today we're together, and right down the street is our aunt.
Who I'm going to stop and see on the way home.
You better,
Yeah.
because she already So, I mean, it's just kind of nice. There's a huge connection within the town for what you do. And again, a lot of times people don't, they think, oh, I wonder if that would help, but they really just don't know.
People come to me and they ask me, will acupuncture help me, with my, and fill in the blank,
Right.
headaches, indigestion, anxiety, psoriasis, and I'm kind of a wise guy, so I
Right.
always say, I don't know, but it's true, you don't know, because different people respond to different interventions, okay? There are people who respond just miraculously to acupuncture or chiropractic or laser
Or hypnosis. Yeah, exactly.
or a dietary change, and you have to find you got to find the root.
Yeah.
And then even if you do find the root and you think, okay, this is going to help, not everybody responds the same. So
Well, it's kind of an intuitive thing you have to do as well, because you're kind of like a little bit of a detective. Say someone comes in for a problem with their back and perhaps their weight's an issue. Maybe something has to be addressed in that way. Or maybe a lifestyle change is in order to help someone fully recover
Yeah.
from something.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of asking questions. It's a lot of learning that person on a deep level so that you can be the most help.
And maybe sometimes doing as much as I can, but then saying, you know what, you need to go see Mary,
Yeah.
or you need to go see Connie, or you need to go see,
Right. Well, yeah, because sometimes it does take a village, especially as we get older, to kind of maintain our bodies and help our minds and to kind of get through all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's a lot of maintenance.
I'm finding it more and
Yeah.
more maintenance.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of enjoying the process because I'm saying that I'm showing myself more care perhaps than ever before. So I know that there's a huge payoff for that. Now, someone that comes to you and they may be struggling with headaches for a very long time, and the moment they get that relief, I bet right out of their mouth is, why didn't I come here before?
And headaches are, it's a big issue these days, and there's so many different causes of
Right.
headaches because sometimes.
One of them is water, I know that. I mean, not having enough, being dehydrated.
Yeah.
We're keeping you hydrated, Dennis. No headaches
Okay,
today.
not today. I don't get headaches.
Yeah.
I give them.
Yeah.
So.
I always say that about gray
Yeah,
hair.
right.
I don't get gray hair. I give it, but I hope that isn't very true.
But headaches could be mechanical, like cervical spine.
Yep. Neck pain.
Or it could be anxiety,
Right.
or any number of other, internal, organic, systemic kinds of things.
Now, how do you treat someone? I've seen this in my practice. So someone has feelings that they're not able to express, perhaps. Like a good one is stress. And so it almost seems as though it settles in parts of their body, like that tension. And they get the pain in their shoulder or something like that. So when you work with them, do you help them understand help them with their ability to relax as well, or do you touch on that kind of part of it? I mean, again, that's kind of like you have to treat that symptom, which is the back pain,
Yeah.
but if the core is like a stress thing.
I usually don't get into that.
Okay.
I usually, I'm a hands-on,
Core guy.
mechanical kind of guy.
Okay.
If there's other issues like that, I usually want them to deal with somebody else.
Okay. All right. That makes
It's
sense.
the same with nutrition. I don't do nutrition. So I usually will suggest that they see somebody else
Like a nutritionist. Okay.
for that kind of thing.
Well, that's good because we know all kinds of
you-
people out there
Yeah, and you
that can help.
can't do everything.
Right.
I've got a full toolbox. It's full enough already. I don't need to take on
Yeah.
another arena.
Right,
you know.
right. Well, I don't think I'd ever go to an electrician to get a shelf put up, so I kind of
not.
get that part.
Yeah.
I get that part. So what do you see in your future? Like, what kind of stuff are you into now?
Well,
I know you're a sports guy.
Yeah, and I love
that you did
treating
the
athletes.
Ironman. I got to give you a little kudos
Yeah.
for that Ironman. That's an enormous challenge and enormous accomplishment. So kudos for that.
Thank you.
That's just crazy good. You just touch on that just for a minute, because my brother as well does that.
Well, what's interesting is that your brother got me into it.
Man, my brother's
Yeah.
a positive instigator.
So
I
both
guess.
my kids were on the swim team for the YMCA several years ago, and we were going down to nationals because Will made it to nationals.
Oh, nice.
So we're
Okay,
going down to
that's big.
Charlotte when I think he was probably just 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
And we said, he may never make it again. We better all go down.
Right,
know?
to celebrate that.
As it turns out, he made it every year that he was on the team, But
Yeah, but you didn't have no way to know that.
your brother
right?
Joe said to me, "So you have a book for the the plane ride? And I said, no, I pick one up at the airport usually. And he handed me a book. Joe does this thing that he books people. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am aware
He's
that Joe
probably
books
booked
people.
you before.
Yeah, he sneakered me too.
Yeah, so
for
he
his running
handed me a
group.
book and he said, here, read this.
Yeah.
And the name of the book was Triathlon 101. Okay?
Perfect.
So I was in Charlotte for about 4 days. I read Triathlon 101 and I came back and it was like, yes, I'm going to do this.
Right, right.
So I started going out with him on the bike and we'd ride, like 10 miles and I'd be like, wow.
What a process, huh?
I rode 10 miles, and then we'd run like a mile. And so over a period of 5 or 6 or 7 years, those distances kept getting longer and longer and longer.
Exactly.
And then, so last November, I did the Arizona Ironman.
Now, Arizona Ironman involves, please explain this to people because I was in awe hearing
It's
this.
2.5 mile swim.
Okay, swim for 2.5 miles.
Get
Okay.
out, get on your bike.
Get on your bike.
Ride 112 miles.
Ride your bike 112 miles all the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Whew,
Get off your
okay.
bike
Yeah.
and then run a marathon.
Run a marathon like 26.2.
26.2.
Woo. Okay then.
It's a fun day.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a great day.
It's amazing. And I love how it started, not exactly with my brother, because I know my brother's like that. He helps people kind of move forward. But the fact that it all started with a thought, an idea, and a book,
Yep.
right? So, I mean, that, and then the chiropractic, too. I mean, who goes to a chiropractor and becomes one? Kind of cool. I think so. Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, we don't know what brings us to what we do and how, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You want me to talk about that, huh?
About
You're-
what?
You're looking at me like,
No.
because what happened to me is, and I said this to you the other day, is like, through my whole life, I was an athlete and my whole identity was based on that.
Right.
And then when I got hurt,
It made you question
it was
that,
like,
huh?
okay, if I'm not my body, who am I? And I had to kind of like do a major shift.
I love the cosmic push
You know?
stories because everyone that's come here has had a story about what brought them to where they are now.
So I got hurt as a freshman in college and pretty much out of athletics. And I didn't listen. So I found something else to do.
Okay.
So then I got into whitewater rafting, rock climbing, caving.
Was there anything you didn't do? Did you do scuba diving too?
I never,
No?
a little bit.
More mountain climbing
bit.
and physical stuff,
Yeah,
right?
jumping motorcycles, stuff like that. Bungee jumping.
Jumping motorcycles. Like jumping not in a motorcycle, over motorcycles.
On a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
Over things.
Over stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't listen.
Right.
So then I got hurt when I was 25, and I kind of said, okay,
Yeah, now you got to listen.
I gotta
huh?
listen.
But you had fun. You
I
had fun on
in
your
the
way
meantime.
there. Okay.
And I've had fun since.
Right.
But I kind of had to change the direction I was going in.
But I think the whole thing with that is when you talk about that, you had no way to know where that would bring your life.
I really
No
did.
way. And the fact that getting hurt made you kind of question, who am I? Like, if I'm not the physical, it kind of brings you into other parts of you that you have to explore and decide, okay, where do I go from here? Now, the thing that I absolutely love about doing this show is everyone that comes on has a deep, deep need to help other people. Okay? So I want to make sure that I really touch on that idea that, it's not, you can make money a million different ways, but when people reach out to help other people as their purpose, that's enormous. It's just enormous.
It was a big part of what
No,
steered me in this
right.
direction.
It drives your bus, right?
I have a bus. And I didn't get the care that I needed when I got hurt. When I was 25, I saw the orthopedists and they gave me shots and they wanted to do surgery and it's like, I don't think so. But it took me a long time to sort out like where to get the care that I really needed. And that was a big part of me becoming a chiropractor because I absolutely wanted to see people get what they need.
What they need, right. And there was no way at the time that you could have known what you needed. There's just no way.
I didn't know.
And then to have someone help you that has a job you didn't even really know about or even understand, and now look at you now. Just amazing. Dennis, I cannot thank you enough for coming in and sharing your story with us. Oh, let's take the needles now. I got to get
Oh,
some
needles.
in
Okay,
here.
yep, I brought needles.
Might as well get this out of the way, guys. I'll let you know if it hurts.
There's a
but-
lot of people who are afraid of needles.
Yeah, I'm not one of them.
No, you've had a bunch.
I've had a few many.
But I think and for some people, it's just a matter of they don't know what it's about. They think of a syringe,
Well, I think you have to kind of see these little puppies
If you
because
can
they're
see
not
them,
they're not that large.
if you can see them, they come in. They're sterile. They come and they're used individually. You use them once, throw them away.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not like it was
We're
years
sharing
ago
needles.
when they used to actually clean them and use them again.
Or cover them with alcohol or something.
I don't think anybody does that anymore.
No.
So they come sterilized, and they come in a little protective tube. And I
Oh
don't
wow, I can't even see that.
I don't even know if you can see that.
Okay, that's why it has a nice little yellow holder.
Yeah, and this isn't one of the smallest ones either. This is
Mm-hmm.
kind of a medium-sized one.
Well, that kind of almost reminds me of like a sewing needle, sort of.
Oh, it's
The
smaller.
thin,
Than,
it's
smaller
even
than
smaller
that.
than
Yeah.
that. So now,
This one is actually like 0.18
0.18
millimeter.
millimeter.
Yeah.
So now, if you put that in, I'm just looking at what's exposed here. If you put it in my hand, what would that do for me? Would it do something for me now, or do I have to have like a problem to get it?
Well, let's talk. I don't know how much time we have, but let's just talk quickly about the theory of acupuncture.
Oh no, let's not do that.
All right, never mind.
I mean the theory. I want to know how it works, though.
Well, everybody knows this point right here.
Right.
Okay, they say, oh, if you have a headache,
You squeeze
just
that
squeeze
part.
this
Yeah.
point. Okay. Well, there's an acupuncture point there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so
So that's really what it is that works.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's
And I didn't know about that headache thing. You do this?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, it works for some headaches.
Oh, it works for some.
It
Okay.
doesn't work for all because it's on what's called there are 12 major pathways on the body according to acupuncture theory.
That's like energy.
Yeah, and through
meridians or
these,
something like that, I think they call it.
meridians, pathway, channel,
Yeah,
they're called
chakras. We hear a lot of
a lot of
different
different
words here. It's
words
just-
here, but mostly they're called meridians.
Okay.
And there's one that corresponds to each major organ.
Right.
Okay, so this is the large intestine.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it goes
Will I digest
up
better
the
now?
arm. You might.
I might. Okay.
But I'm trying not to get too
Yeah, I
deep
wanna
into
keep
the
you away from the
theory.
technical,
Yeah, I don't want to
just
get
the
technical.
practical.
But basically, there's a point here that can help a lot of frontal headaches.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're just going to do this for I do not have a headache, but I'm going to let you know if this hurts or anything like that. So if he does it, then I didn't feel that.
If I do it.
Well, I was just saying if it hurt, but okay. So that I can't feel that at all.
So
by
we
the
can
way.
change that.
No, just leave it alone, Dennis. But it doesn't hurt. It kind of looks a little cool there. And this will. How long would somebody leave that in for?
There's a lot of different theories. One of the theories that I've heard is that it takes 28 minutes for the energy, or what we call qi, that vital energy, to circulate through all 12 meridians. So
someone like lay down
so
and have these in?
I like to leave them for a half hour.
Okay,
'Cause
then they're well done.
Well, there are people who will leave it for an hour.
Wow. I know my dad used to lay on the table, have the needles put in, kind of take a little happy nap, and then he would always report that he felt better.
Yeah, and again,
But he had chronic illness too, so.
acupuncture affects different people differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now acupuncture, like laser, also stimulates endorphin production.
Okay.
All right, so people
Don't feel pain.
they feel better.
They feel better.
They feel
okay.
and
I
some
feel wonderful
people,
right now, and it doesn't really matter that that's in there.
You always feel
I,
wonderful.
well, yes, actually, I kind of do.
Yeah.
It's a mindset, but yeah.
We'll take that out.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even feel it come out though.
No, you don't.
And there's like no hole, no blood. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Just had to do that. See, I'm not one of those people that just say, tell me about it. I'm like, oh, show me. Show me. I like to have that experience.
Yeah.
And I think if someone came down to see you, would you, okay, so let's say people that are watching this decide to come see you for acupuncture. What kind of problems do you typically treat?
I treat a lot of hot flashes.
Hot flashes?
Mm.
Okay. So that's menopausal stuff.
Menopausal
okay.
stuff, yep. And in Chinese medicine, we have these, what we do is we do an intake to determine what the pattern is that's going on for this particular person.
Oh.
And there's a pattern that's called kidney yin deficiency,
Kidney, oh wow.
right?
Kidney deficiency?
Kidney yin, you've
Yeah.
heard of yin yang,
Yeah, a little bit,
balance
yeah.
of male female energy, and et cetera. So again, you know, there's a meridian that corresponds to every organ.
And the kidney actually is a balancer, so.
It is, but the way that, you know, Chinese medicine talks about the kidney is not the way that Western medicine talks about the
Okay.
kidney, and you have to keep that kind of separate.
Okay.
People hear kidney and they say, "What's wrong with my kidneys?"
Yeah, but it has
Nothing's
nothing to
wrong
do
with your
right.
kidneys. Okay. Or you say liver yang rising, and they say, "My liver."
Well, you might be better just helping them.
Well, you know, I'm still trying to
That's how
find
you're trying to
ways.
explain that stuff. and
It's
like-
really hard to explain. Okay, but that whole menopausal thing has it's got a collection of symptoms that are pretty close to what happens, you know, with kidney yin deficiency.
Huh, that's interesting.
Including a lot of times you'll see some insomnia, a little bit of anxiety, dry mouth, dry throat, you know.
Huh.
But the hot flashes respond. We've had great luck with
Great
hot
luck
flashes.
with hot flashes.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there has hot flashes, come see Dennis, and he'll take good care of you.
And then also just a lot of, you know, other things like shoulder pain or, you know, low back pain or headaches or,
Even if you just
even
generally
s-
don't feel well, huh?
yeah, you know, I mean, you can do acupuncture for well-being, you know, to boost the immune system or
All kinds of stuff.
stuff, you know.
Well, you're a very interesting guy. You're very well-rounded. I'm so glad you're my cousin too. And I just want to thank you very much for
Thanks.
coming in.
I
It means a lot
appreciate
to
being
me
here.
to have
Thanks.
people come in and share what they know and kind of raise that awareness. So now I know a lot more about you than I did before. And don't forget to go see Aunt Emily today
I'll-
for her 90th birthday.
I'm on my way.
I want to thank everyone.